Hi again, Nancy Irwin here, and I had a request from someone to see what this looked like when in a performance scenario. This is not actually a performance scenario. This is going to be a practice scenario because this is I'm actually going to take you to a tune that I know so I actually sound better because I don't want to sound terrible on here. But anyway, so in this particular scenario, there's a tune that I've been working on, and what you might have noticed, I don't know if you noticed it or not, because I didn't mention it, is I have the same, I went through and used the arrange feature and duplicated this particular piece of music multiple times because this particular piece of music has 2 repeats. It has 4 lines. Lines 1 and 2 are repeated. So you play lines 1 and 2, you repeat lines 1 and 2. You play lines 3 and 4, you repeat lines 3 and 4. So that is essentially 4 pages. So what I did is I went into the rearrange feature. You go to the little toolbox in the top right corner, and then you tap on rearrange, and it brings up this page with thumbnails basically, and you zoom in on you can do this without zooming in, but I find that personally it's it's a little bit okay. So I tap on the piece of music, right, and you can see it, but here's the problem. Well, actually, I take that back because there is an add button. So you can add another version of this page. So forget that. So yeah, so you can tap on it, press add, and it's going to make a duplicate of the particular piece of music. So I'm going to get out of here. We're going to discard changes. Don't need to do anything with that. But so anyway, here's my tune that I have turned 1 page into 4 pages because of the repeats. I looked into doing links and buttons. I have not had good luck with that. I tried again because someone said that it online in the Facebook users group that ForScore fixed something, and so you actually can use it. I didn't find that to be the case. I've tried multiple times. And the other thing that I haven't figured out is how to engage that repeat when I'm using my pedal. You can tap on it with your finger, and sometimes it works, but I couldn't figure out how to make it do it with the pedal. So I'm going to default back to the rearrange option where I don't have to go backwards by pages. I just keep going forward because I added more pages to my piece of music. So this is the tune I'm working on. It's a 6/8 tune. So what I'm not necessarily going to worry about rhythms right now because it's been a little while since I've played this, probably about a week or 2. And I remember vaguely how it goes, but not entirely. Please forgive the dog bone in the background. My pet dog is over there chewing on a bone down the hall. So, but for now, this is what I'm doing. Transitions are hard. I'm going to start right here. Anyway, I decided to quit while I was ahead. My reed was having issues. I think I overblowing or too much spit or something. Anyway, I'm learning to play the bagpipes, and before we played the bagpipes, we learned a tune with this instrument. It's called the Practice Chanter, because we use it as a practice tool to learn our tunes and stuff. And then when you move to the bagpipes, that way you're not learning a tune while also dealing with the bagpipes, because it's actually kind of like 4 instruments as opposed to just one with a reed. That's a different conversation for a different day. But for my purposes, what I was doing is, if you noticed, I'm going to go back to the beginning of the line here just so that you can kind of see what happens. So I put myself at the beginning of the repeat and, measure 1, 2, 3. My measures are not numbered. Now, in my method book that I was using prior to using this one, they were numbered. So what I have found is when I press on the pedal, right now I can see measures, I can see the pickup on measure 1, the entirety of measure 2, and about half of measure 3. So when I step on the pedal, what it did is so if I start right here, what actually did it do? Hold on. All right, so here is the grace note, and then I have a dotted quarter, which is a D. So I'm going to step on the pedal. Now, my grace note with my dotted quarter moved over to the left, so I can actually see most of that measure with the exception of the first grace note. And then I can see the entirety of the next measure. So when I have it this big, it only moves me by about a measure and a half or maybe 2, which is not a lot. Which is why I primarily use this as a practice tool, going literally 1 measure at a time, which is how I was taught to learn tunes anyway. So when it came to following along in the method book, when I was playing with my peers, what I found was that I would zoom out actually and make it smaller so that I could see more of it. Now granted, I'd have to be a lot closer. I measured this earlier and I'm actually at about 16 inches here in my chair. And I raised up my music stand to about the height of my head. And I mean, obviously, if you were in a, band situation, your music would probably be that high depending on what instrument you were playing. Again, the instrument that I'm learning to play, it's meant to, this particular instrument is meant to work on the embellishments and that sort of thing. And then when I actually get to my actual instrument, they want you to have memorized the tune. And I do that naturally anyway. I wasn't taught to read music originally, so I learned to memorize everything by rote. And so going 1 measure at a time and learning a tune that way actually kind of works for me because it helps me learn a tune. Now, I have not found that to be the case when I'm going to get out of this mode and go look at a piece of music. So I have a couple of different libraries on here. I have one for bagpipe tunes, and then I have, this one just calls it all libraries. This is where I put all of my church related stuff. Like for example, here's a bulletin from a couple of weeks ago or a month ago or whatever it was. So, here's the first song in the bulletin, and I hit my reflow button, and except I missed it. And what I did was, here, this is much larger. I mean, and I'm also holding it when I sing in the church choir. It just makes it much easier. And so what I did, same thing here, I navigate my way through. Trying to see if I remember the song. And then, so now what happened here is it repeated. So we're back to the beginning, because what I did is I did what I said that I did in the method book is I messed up here. I didn't actually go through and, oh no, I did. I just accidentally had the bass line selected there too. And I don't need that because I'm not playing the piano. But I went back and did the same thing where I just rearranged the pages, added much more pages to the bulletin. But when you're singing all 3 verses of something, I've just found that links and buttons are not consistent. If someone else has better luck with it, I would love to see how they do it. But I'm the only one that I know that uses Reflow as much as I use it. So, like I said a long time ago in this video, this was meant to show sort of what this is like in a performance setting. Again, I only use it as a practice tool until I bumped my little mount there. Sorry. Again, I only use it as a performance or as a practice tool. So, you know, that, you know, is a different way of using it than, you know, others might be using it. Trying to turn my camera around, but anyway, that's not going to work for me, so I'm not going to worry about it. But regardless, I hope this was, because down here is my my pedal on the floor, you know, and I was stepping on the, sorry, changing my brightness there, stepping on the pedal and obviously making it go forward. So yeah, I hope that was at least somewhat instructive and at least gave you an idea of how I use it. Again, I don't use it and in performance just because that's not what I'm doing with it. So thanks, friends. Hope this was helpful. Have a good one. Bye.